In the first part of this series, we explained two of the functions performed by the proteins in different organisms: protection against the extreme temperatures and catalysis of the biochemical reactions. We also discussed how these proteins are used in different products. In this video, we will talk about two more groups of proteins and their applications. A group of biomolecules called hormones regulate almost every function performed by our body, including digestion, sleep, movement, reproduction, growth, as well as how we feel. Hormones are produced by the organs of the endocrine system and they travel throughout the body in the bloodstream. Based on their structure and chemistry, hormones can be categorized in four subgroups: proteins, peptides, steroids, and amino acid derivatives. Proteins and peptides are made up of the same building blocks called amino acids. Peptides are short chains of amino acids, usually composed of less than 50 units. Proteins are very long chains of amino acids that get folded in well-defined three-dimensional structures. Here we will discuss a protein hormone called follicle-stimulating hormone that plays an important role in childbirth. Ovaries are the female reproductive organs that contain multiple follicles. An ovarian follicle is a fluid-filled pouch that contains an immature egg. During the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle, follicle-stimulating hormone secreted by the pituitary gland stimulates the growth and maturation of the follicles. The follicular phase usually lasts for about 2 weeks. During this phase, the blood level of follicle stimulating hormone is such that only one follicle continues to grow and becomes fully mature, while the rest of the follicles degenerate. At the end of the follicular phase, a mature egg is released from the dominant follicle, which becomes available for fertilization by a sperm. Several factors, including hormonal imbalance in either one or both partners, can result in infertility. In such cases, in vitro fertilization, shortly known as IVF, is a technique often used to achieve pregnancy. In the IVF process, an egg extracted from a woman is mixed with the sperms collected from a man in a laboratory glass container for fertilization. The fertilized egg develops into an embryo, which is then transferred into a woman's uterus to achieve pregnancy. Collecting multiple eggs for IVF can improve the chances of pregnancy. However, at the natural blood concentration of follicle-stimulating hormone during the follicular phase, normally a single mature egg is produced in every menstrual cycle. In order to collect multiple eggs for IVF in a single cycle, the woman is given daily injections of follicle-stimulating hormone for 8 to 10 days. Due to a high concentration of follicle-stimulating hormone, the ovaries are stimulated to develop multiple mature follicles. Multiple eggs released from these follicles are collected and used for in vitro fertilization. From the resulting collection of embryos, the best quality embryo is selected for implantation into a woman's uterus. Ovarian stimulation by injections of follicle-stimulating hormone has now become an integral part of the IVF technique to achieve successful pregnancy. For the preparation of follicle-stimulating hormone, it can be either extracted and purified from the urine of postmenopausal women, or it can be prepared in laboratory by recombinant DNA technology, which is more expensive than the urinary preparation. Now let us talk about a group of proteins that protect the animals against harmful effects of other organisms, such as infection by viruses, bacteria, and fungus, or an attack by a poisonous animal. These organisms often use antigens or toxins as their weapons. For example, by the help of the antigens present on their surface, viruses bind to the cells of a host organism to gain entry inside them and cause the infection. Besides, the antigens produced by the viruses, bacteria, and fungus bind to various biomolecules inside the host organism and disrupt their biological functions. Similarly, when a poisonous animal bites other animals, the toxins present in its venom interact with the host biomolecules and either destroy them or change their biological function, which can result in a life threatening condition. As a defense mechanism, the host organisms produce the proteins called neutralizing antibodies to fight the antigens and toxins. Neutralizing antibodies produced by the immune system of the host animal bind to specific antigens or toxins to block them from interacting with other biomolecules of the host animal. Venomous snake bite is a prevalent and neglected public health problem in tropical countries. It is responsible for more than 100,000 deaths every year. Snake venom is a cocktail of various types of toxins. When a snake bites an animal, each type of toxin present in the venom interacts with a specific target molecule of the animal. This leads to fatal conditions such as paralysis, tissue damage, kidney failure, and excessive bleeding, which can often result in death. For more than 100 years, antivenom has been the only approved treatment available for snake bite. Antivenom contains a mixture of neutralizing antibodies. Each antibody binds to a specific toxin present in the venom and blocks it from binding to the biomolecules of the victim. For the preparation of antivenom, an animal is injected with a small quantity of venom to trigger its immune system to produce neutralizing antibodies against the toxins present in the venom. Then the antibodies are separated from the serum of the animal to prepare the antivenom. As per the World Health Organization's guidelines, antivenom is an essential medicine and should be present in the primary healthcare package of the regions where snake bites are very common. In India, major producers of antivenom include a government research institute as well as a few private suppliers. The supply of antivenom is not sufficient to meet the requirement. The antivenom shortage is a global problem. One major challenge in conventional antivenom production is the limited supply of venom used for immunization of an animal to produce neutralizing antibodies. Often, pharmaceutical companies also discontinue antivenom production for not being profitable. To tackle these challenges, a group of scientists are working towards developing alternative strategies for efficient and cost-effective antivenom production. We hope that you enjoyed learning about various proteins and their applications in this series of protein functions and applications. Thank you for watching this video.